Colton just did it right there.
There's I was mentioning with Colton, but there is so much to watch right now. It's really about to be as well, so that's a problem. So I finished Cyberpunk. I got to finish several of the shows that ended last season. We're in the middle of Lord of the Rings and House of Dragons, and then there's a couple movies that are coming out that I gotta see, like Bullet Train. I'm gonna watch pretty soon. And then we're about to start the next season of anime, and then Andor just started, and there's too much.
There's so much content.
I'd be interested in seeing Andor. Also, I want one of you guys to watch Miss Marvel. Everyone seems to think it's great, and I want to know if it's for real.
I do want to watch. I do have it on my list of things to eventually watch.
Yeah,
it's like I can't tell if it's like, oh my gosh, like an OP woman character and it's getting rated really highly, or if it's like it's actually very good. That might be a very controversial take. Like
I don't know. I think as long as you do a movie good, it doesn't really matter what the subject is.
Yeah,
I think that I think it looks good from the commercial that I saw. I'm like, okay. It seems a little weird that they found another artifact that can give you, Captain Marvel level powers.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, Shang-Chi exists and he did his thing. So I guess now we have
just another one.
Someone else.
I don't have I'm taking the third take here, and I think it just looks boring. Maybe actually
I can
decent.
see that take too.
I feel like the MCU has kind of become like the same. They've been recycling the same stories that they've done before, or that they haven't changed the formula up to make it.
It's funny
new
to
and
me
exciting.
that it's going in the opposite direction now. So you're saying that about Marvel, right? Which may or may not be true. I think to a degree, I agree. And then Star Wars is now going in the opposite direction, where they've recycled the same story for 9 movies essentially.
Mm-hmm.
And finally,
now they're getting
we're getting TV shows that are unique and different, or at least passingly different. And that's not even counting the animated shows, which were fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, for sure. I mean, say what you want about WandaVision. I think it's a bit controversial, but that show was so different from the rest.
I
of
liked
the whole,
WandaVision.
The whole
Yeah,
MCU, and I respect it for just for the style, for the change. Like that was neat.
Yeah, I think I'm just
Loki. I mean, no need to be mentioned. I think.
Yeah.
Loki's also different. But and it's good. So
yeah, I think I'm just burned out on the Marvel style / humor, and that.
Yeah,
that's fair.
I mean,
everything's cyclical. That'll come back in about 13 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm sure
If
Marvel will have
last
another
that time.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll have a renaissance. Like, I mean, it'll probably be when none of the OG characters are in. They're past all those phases. Now you have all these crazy characters coming in, and it's this new renaissance of new. I don't know. I feel like you already got rid of half the OG cast. A lot of people are sad, but over time, it's I guess you got to make room for the new cast. So
Yeah.
I heard tale of a new Iron Man video game coming out.
Oh, okay.
If it doesn't have
And-
RDJ's voice, I'm not getting it.
I'm not.
I don't think it ever did. I played
Yeah.
some of the original Iron Man games. I don't think it ever had his voice, but if it looks cool, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Iron Man could be very cool if done right. I think. I mean,
It can be very
it could
customizable.
be really, really good if done right.
Yeah.
The new Spider-Mans are pretty good. The Batman games are really good, I think. It just depends on the developer. It's I think you could do a lot with all of the superheroes. So, just cross our fingers for it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, enough talking about Marvel because we do talk about that all the time. I'm going to intro us before it gets too far ahead of us right now. So, welcome to Almost a Podcast. I'm your host today, Colton, and I'm with the lads as usual, Sean and Michael.
What's up?
Welcome, lads.
Hello.
And basically, I don't know if we alluded to this on other podcast or on another podcast, but you guys came to my new city last weekend, and we all had a grand old time.
Mm-hmm.
And
Oh yeah.
yeah. I mean, it's been
Probably,
literally a single day since I've seen you guys, so it is
Since we left.
Yeah,
It's been
it was-
less than a day.
It's been less than 24 hours, yeah. It was so weird. I think you guys mentioned this as well, but when I saw you guys, It's been a while since we've hung out. It's been since July,
In
since
person.
AX. But yeah, I didn't feel like
Yeah.
that long because we do talk every week, at least once every
Yeah.
week. So it feels weird if we don't talk every week. Like if we go 9 days without talking,
Doesn't it?
It
Yeah.
feels very strange. It's so ingrained into my like schedule and stuff. So
Like usually Sunday rolls around, I'm like, well, if we don't have a podcast recording, I'm like, well, what am I gonna do?
You're right.
What am
Yeah, I know.
I have
what
like
do
It's
do
I
with
have
my
the
Sunday?
end of Sunday just always booked out for
it's
podcasts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's always like that thing that's always there. And it's really nice because then I'm always home. I can always make dinner. I can always like plan around that usually. So it's a good
Yeah.
time. But I had a question for you guys regarding coming here. And we're going to be careful because I don't want to dox myself here. But I was curious on like, from your visit, we did a lot of different things. I was like, of the
Yes.
city, what was like your favorite aspect and like what was your worst aspect? I'm genuinely curious on this topic. I don't know if this is going to be able to be like the viewers aren't going to really be able to relate to this because like they don't know where we're talking about, but I was just curious on like, or maybe just like something you didn't expect that did happen or something. Like what was your
I don't know. Well, first of all, I really enjoyed the city. It's one of the places I was considering moving before I moved to my current city, and hang out with you guys for the weekend. All but solidified that will be the next city I move to. You know, so that's pretty cool. Just to get the lay of the land. We visited tons of different neighborhoods and parts of the area.
Oh, yeah, I
and
gave
even
you
then,
a-
it was kind of.
Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say I tried to give you a full rundown of the neighborhoods of our downtown, at least.
Yeah, and even then, it was a small area.
Yeah,
You can move anywhere, around the downtown area, and
right.
still have access. So
Yes.
quite cool. And it was also fun just going around and going a little crazy for a weekend, especially when you have like public transportation adjacent things,
Yes.
i.e. birds
i.e. birds.
and scooters,
Yeah.
to get around on, because those are just great. I need to go a mile, half a mile, and I want to do it pretty quickly. I mean, that is a great option of
system.
travel to have.
Yeah.
I would say.
Honestly, that was my favorite part almost. Like, we went to a bunch of different restaurants, bars, and whatnot, but the birds, I love the birds. It's such a joy to me to ride a bird for 1 mile to 2 miles. And even if it costs economically, for all 4 of us that went out, it costs quadruple the amount of an Uber.
Well, maybe not quadruple.
Well,
But
it's
yeah, at least 3 times.
It's darn close. It is 3 times ish. It can be at least, and I still would do it. I don't care. I mean, it's worth it. It's fun.
It doesn't seem as very much in the moment,
Yeah.
$5 here, $5 there,
Right.
It doesn't seem too bad,
Yeah, it's the business
But,
model. They're really getting us.
but I guess it adds up. You still need to bill me for.
yeah, I'll have to see.
You
what
paid
the-
for my rides the entire trip.
I'll have to see what the bill is. I'm thinking that it's gonna be about $40 to $50 for you and I, Sean. Mike will be cheaper because we burned it around a decent amount after you left, Mike. So
Okay.
it might
yeah.
be like in the $30 to $40.
I also usually bought my own.
Oh, that's right. Yes, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We only did like a flock, like a couple times.
Flock.
Fruit basket, you mean?
A fruit basket with limes, yeah. Or a lift. We never lift basketed, but whatever.
Lift basket. We tried some bikes as well. That was a whole new thing. I never even knew that bikes were an option
Yeah.
in
Before?
that in that whole service.
The bikes have the little container in front, and I'm legitimately, there's a Trader Joe's next to me. I'm legitimately going to go grab some groceries every once in a while and put it in the little front basket thing and drive home.
Yeah.
I'm definitely going to do
I,
that.
mean, I put my phone and wallet in it at one point, so I
Oh, really?
didn't slip out of my pocket. It was just like a nice
Yeah.
little containment, and they're fast.
They are faster than
They're
the birds.
really
Yep.
fast.
You could probably go like the 20-ish miles an hour, 20 to 25.
maybe like 25. I'd say.
I never went all out. I never straight up sprinted on the bike because I got too fast. I just got to the next block too fast. But
yeah.
Yeah. Those are a lot of fun. I love that too. Just exploring, because you're like, oh, we can go anywhere, right? It's not like you're setting a destination. It's like walking somewhere. You're just like, oh, I can see X, Y, Z, and like go through different areas. And like, there's some sketchy areas that we just went through on the birds, and it's like,
You just
not a
fly
problem.
through.
Yeah, and so you just kind of
It's a much different experience than walking.
yeah.
When you're on the bird, you feel invincible. You feel just you can outrun the crime.
Top of the
Except when you
world.
almost
Yeah.
get hit by a car, which happened a couple times.
Except when you're like just cruising, and then all of a sudden you remember there's a like garage, garage,
I was
and you
thinking
just
the exact
zoom,
same
and they just
moment.
come out, and you're like, oh shoot, yeah,
I actually did not almost get in a car crash for once.
that's
pretty good, right?
That's great.
Yeah.
That's a good time.
One thing that surprised
Little,
me was how friendly everyone is. Normally, city people are assholes. I'm just stating that as like in general, right?
Yeah,
I feel like they
I'd
tend to
agree.
be very like,
We're just closed.
stay in your own lane.
Yeah,
Kind of don't, mind your own business kind of thing. And whereas
Yeah.
where we went, it was like fairly like, friendly.
pretty
and
mingleable. Yeah,
Yeah.
people are trying to hang out, and yeah, it is pretty friendly. I've noticed that too. It's pretty friendly compared to some of the other spots in the U.S. at least for city wise. Yeah, but
Yeah, I'd agree. I my biggest thing is drivers. If I drive a lot, I feel it's unavoidable. And as long as I can get along with the drivers, then I'll probably be okay.
you'll be good to go. Yeah.
And I since I didn't drive in the place, but I was watching Colton drive, and it seemed like a place that would work.
yeah, his manual car.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that it's not how I drive, but just how they interacted with how all the other drivers were behaving on the road.
Sean's like, I can bully these drivers into the shoulder if I
No.
need to. That's exactly what I need.
I want to be
just
able to merge in peace. Is all I want.
Yeah,
is all I
without
want.
anyone being, huge egos and
Yeah.
trying to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel that.
But yeah, overall it was great. Airport sucks, but other
Airport's
than
not
that,
great.
great.
Airport was
Airport's
great.
not great. I don't
You
think the
think the
airport
airport's
is as
great?
good as many other airports. It's not okay. It's not like it sucks, but it is not great for as big as the city should be, in my opinion.
I think it's a decent airport.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's all right.
It's all right.
not as bad as,
6
like,
out of 10.
It's not as bad as LAX.
Or Minneapolis or something.
Is Minneapolis bad?
It's just too big.
Yeah, I
here's
feel
a
that.
random thought. I want to go visit Minneapolis really bad. It's like a city on my short list that I want to go visit. I've heard great things. I've never been there. Okay, short John over.
Tangent over.
I just really wanted to make that known.
Sidebar.
Yeah. For all those Minneapolis people listening, I want to go visit your city. Hit me up.
Yeah, MSP.
In the comments below.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
Man,
it was a blast.
I'd be excited to, being that I was talking with Carly about this, but for you two, because you guys both are from a very small town, right?
yes,
And
absolutely.
Carly would have more of this. You less, Colton, because you moved around a lot as a kid and lived in like big cities like London and such.
yeah.
But Carly has been going just up in terms of scale.
yeah, absolutely.
From like super small town
to
to
college.
college town to like medium city to large city, and it's an interesting trajectory
Yeah.
or experience for her. And I've almost been going the opposite direction in
Yeah,
a way.
you
Yeah.
have. Yeah.
Kind of, right? Yeah.
Yeah, because I started in like a large suburb near a large city, then a college town, and now I'm in like a medium city.
Yeah. Right.
I thought it was just a funny or an interesting thought.
Yeah. How many
Yeah,
people
I
are in
feel-
your hometown?
My hometown
Yeah.
or Sean's hometown? My hometown, I mean, I don't even
compare.
know. It's tiny. My high school had it had about very roughly 100 graduates in the senior class, I believe. Very roughly. If
That's pretty small.
that,
Okay,
was
I'm
it
gonna
even
look
that? Was it there wasn't 100 people total, was it? It couldn't have been that small. It
I
was,
just Googled the population of Colton's town,
yeah.
5,000.
Yeah.
That's a small town.
That's a
tiny little
small
town.
town. That's small. I would have guessed 20,000. That is real small for
No,
five.
your town's very small.
Man, I'm so glad I got
My-
out of there.
And for me, and him, the town is it. Nothing else around
Just
it.
farmland.
Right?
Yeah, you got to go a
Classic.
half hour to get to
Yeah.
another city. It's not a big city.
Which is why it's hard to like compare, for say mine to his, because it's all city around me. There's no
There's no
nothing
farms. Yeah, you
for
don't got.
hours and hours.
You have no corn. I had corn in my hometown. If you want to try and dox my old hometown off that, but yeah, you didn't have corn in your hometown, Sean. It was
no.
You don't have
don't
like
have
just
the
cattle
miles of
on Main
fields.
Street.
So I'll tell you what my city population was, and then I'll tell you what my county population was, because that's normally what I would describe to people as where I'm from.
right.
And I went in that area very frequently. I don't know what county your town was a part of.
it's
Colton.
the
Same name.
it is same name. Yeah.
Okay. Let me see if I can get that up real quick here.
That would be a fair amount
Okay,
more. That should be a
that
bit
county
more.
population is 117,000,
Well, that's
yeah.
because it includes.
which is
Includes some of the cities.
lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's some cities that are actually lumped into that county, I think.
oh wait, let's get square mileage in here. So that is 1,800 square miles.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then your town is 4.2 square miles. Okay.
This is gonna be like in
let's
the
compare-
comments. This is gonna be like, can they figure out where we grew
I'm
up?
thinking the exact same thing. I'm like, all right, how do you math this out? Like,
Yeah. And
because you're basically like using yeah, you could probably figure
process
it
of
out.
like
So,
elimination kind of thing.
yeah,
my
Matching
town
up.
using AI
is
to figure it
11,
out.
11 square miles, right? Is my town.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Population is 80,000,
Yeah,
Jeez.
that's
which is almost as
packed.
much as your entire county.
Yeah,
My county is 3 million people.
yeah.
Yeah.
Take a guess, internet.
Yeah, that's a pretty easy
huge
one to figure
difference.
out.
Yeah, Are you-
So it's so weird, the difference there,
Yeah.
yeah. I've always wished I lived in a bigger town. Like when my brother, because when I went to college, my little brother and family moved to a different town because my dad got a different job in a different state. He went to a way bigger school, a much bigger school of so much more opportunity, like international travel and different clubs, like way different types of clubs instead of the very basic kind of clubs that you'd get in a small school. And I loved that. I thought that was so cool how you could do, 5 different types of theater or different plays and stuff like that. It was awesome.
Wow.
I thought that was really cool. Very similar to what you'd get in probably California.
Yeah.
Ah.
Well, it really depends on where you are, you
Yeah.
know, how big the school is, how, nice the area is. It's still going to be all over the place.
Yeah, it really is. So I always thought it was really cool though.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, just having more availability and options is nice anyway.
Options is nice. Yeah, I love cultural things. My town did not have anyone else but white people for the most part, and that is a negative in my opinion. Quite a big negative.
Yeah.
So
I definitely had the ability to just go eat anywhere because I had all the cultures in my area.
yeah, it's
growing
great.
up.
All the cultures.
I was happy with that.
Yeah. But yeah,
yeah.
I'm glad you moved to this city. It was a blast. I mean, we were only there. We both flew out, and Sean, you flew out Friday night, and I flew out there Thursday night and took the day off Friday.
Yep.
And it was like just this little short jaunt out to the city. It was
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, I'm amazed at how much stuff we did.
We did
absolutely.
a lot.
I felt like I was there for a
Definitely
week,
sex
honestly.
We did
Ugh,
much more than
jeez.
I was kind of thinking we would do, but I'm glad that we did. We were busy all the time,
Yeah.
and we didn't really have an issue staying busy. We had plenty of things that,
Yeah,
even like
easy.
when you left, Mike, Carly and I were thinking of other things to do to fill the gaps, and we ended up thinking of too many things to do in the short span.
Yeah.
To the point
So-
where we just said, you know what, let's not do anything and take a nap.
yeah.
Seriously?
It's like, yeah, we were.
Well,
we
Carly
just-
took a nap and me and Colton watched Edge
Well, that's
Runners.
right.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. Did you guys finish it?
no,
No, I'm a couple episodes tonight, probably.
Okay.
Yeah, I might
Yeah.
finish it tonight if I can stay up for the last 2 episodes or so.
Yeah. That makes sense because Carly was really hungover
yeah.
after 2 days
Well, by
of
that
drinking.
time, it was just we were just tired.
We were just
in general,
falling asleep.
physically.
Yeah.
well,
mentally.
we'd gone to bed at like 3 a.m. both nights, so it makes sense.
Both nights. Yeah, we did
That's
great,
true.
guys. We closed it down both nights.
Oh yeah, it was
Yeah.
great.
I'm pretty surprised, honestly, that I was able to stay up
I'm
and
just
keep going.
Yeah, I'm just
surprised Mike was
disappointed.
able to.
Yeah, right. I was
Mike
too.
was in a little bit. He was in a different time zone, so it was a little bit tougher. And that's just every hour counts at 2 a.m.
Uh huh.
Oh man.
I was just disappointed we didn't go to that one bar that we wanted to go to.
You mean the
oh yeah,
that
yeah,
one
yeah.
club. Yeah.
oh, the club? Yes, there's the club that I really want to go to. I'll go to it. Next
Yeah, it's
weekend,
super close,
probably.
and you're like, all right, let's just go. And
Yeah, I'll
it
let you
ended up
guys
being
know.
like it was like 1:30 when it was like, hey, let's go here, and it closes at 2, and we're like,
Yeah.
fuck, we can't make it now. And we're like,
Yeah,
we
I
gotta
really
plan
wanted
for
to go
this.
to that art.
We
I
got
really wanted to
there.
go to that art installation. I'm like next time I'm in that city, going there.
You got.
Oh, yeah.
You should. And I'll have my ID, so I can get you guys in probably for the discount if I have my ID. by then.
Hopefully.
my state ID, new state ID. So, yeah.
Heck yeah.
So yeah, that's good. And then the commenters are, of course, with all the information we gave, they'll have to see if they can figure out if they don't know where we live or where I live already. They can maybe try and figure out where I live now.
I feel like
Challenge.
there's so many different places that can match what we're saying.
Absolutely.
Yeah, there is. You'd be surprised. Have you heard of all that crazy stuff with the Shia LaBeouf, where people were able to find out where he hung a flag? Do you remember that?
Yeah. Well, that's just because the internet's crazy.
That exactly.
but yes,
We're not
did
that
you- I heard
popular,
about
so
I have not heard about this. Did he like hang on a flag somewhere and they had a picture of it and they just located it? Or
yeah. So Sean, you might be able to explain better or more detail, but I found it on Reddit first. Basically, he did this twice. The first time he hung his flag in like the air, and it said, "He will not divide us." I think it was a something about the Trump presidency, maybe, or something. I'm not sure if
It's
it was
a-
political,
I
but
think it was way before that.
oh, was it? Oh, well,
Thought so.
he hung a flag saying he will not divide us, and I don't know if it was a challenge, but he just live streamed it, and then people were able to use like the weather patterns and the flight patterns of planes that were flying by to pinpoint
Yeah.
where the flag was.
Like because they
Into
knew
a-
the time at which it was.
They
They
knew the-
looked up all the information.
they looked up all
Wait,
the
like
flights,
cross-referenced it.
and they
What?
cross-referenced the flights. Yep.
It was nuts.
That
so
is
eventually-
that absurd.
Eventually, like 4chan was like, okay, so if it's in this county, the flight should be crossing into frame at about this time. And eventually, they were able to like process of elimination it down to where they got it into like a couple different spots, I think. And then some people
Yeah.
just drove around honking their horn until it appeared on stream. Eventually, they pinpointed the
They
place.
echolocated it.
Yeah, echolocated it, and then I think they took the flag down. I think they went and took the flag down and trolled Shia LaBeouf.
That's nuts, dude.
Isn't that crazy?
That
Was
is
it good?
crazy, man.
I think Internet Historian did like a 5 to 10 minute cap, like actual video on it, and it explains
He
everything.
might have. I gotta watch that because
Yeah,
he
same.
does such a good job at explaining stuff
Yeah.
like that.
There's
Absolutely.
another one where I think he just hangs it up in a white room, and they still were able to find it or something. I think they were able to find it off like a window reflection or something
Yeah,
like that.
it was
What
so
the heck?
weird.
Yeah,
It's like
they,
when- Yeah, it's like when people post like pictures of like, oh, this is a picture of like my workstation, and you look at the reflection from like the monitor. Like I always think, oh, like I wonder if someone on I follow, it's the PC battle stations Reddit.
Yeah.
right? And I'm like,
Yeah.
I wonder if
Yeah,
like
yeah.
someone could figure out where this person exactly lives just from that. I don't go into it because I don't want to do that. It's kind of fucked up. But
right.
I don't know if they could because those people mainly are in the basement and there's no
I
light.
bet you could. I bet
Yeah.
you could. The
There-
problem is
there
you
are
don't have the
certain things.
timestamps and stuff like that. But like if someone's got like a window to the outside, then that's pretty easy. But
Yeah, then it
like
gets
a
easier. I
yeah.
feel like if you had people have been able to find out some interesting things based off just the items in the room. Like, oh, you have a Texas flag. You're probably in Texas. That's a simple example, but maybe it's some small memorabilia that's only exists in Indonesia. And they're like, all right, they're in Indonesia, or they're at least Indonesia born, so their parents are probably Indonesian. So look up if they're in California, look up the areas where the Indonesians live or something like that. Like they
That's
use that
freaking nutty.
to really narrow it down. It's crazy.
This is kind of terrifying because then you're like, wait, then you like give Google or Apple or any of these mega corporations like direct access to all this information, and think about how much information. Like I think the average data per second of people is somewhere around 1 megabyte of data.
It's got to be more than that. I think it's way more than that, actually.
Average data being used per person?
Generated.
Yeah, just generated data.
Generated.
And it's like how much, how minuscule. Like I always clown on like YouTube. Like I'll be talking about something and I'm like, I feel like YouTube's listening to me, which it probably
Everyone's,
is.
Yeah.
Because I'll like talk about something and then like a day later it'll pop up in my recommended about something I was talking about. I'm like, this is terrifying. At sometimes I'm like, what if it actually wasn't listening? And because I've like locked down my phone as much as I can, right, with that stuff. Mm-hmm. And it's just like finding that stuff because of like demographics and like these tiny little things like news events like that's just the algorithm generating it. It's absurd.
Or it's like just the algorithm's that good. I don't know. I agree. I think they're listening to you. I think I talk about stuff and then I go to look it up on Google and it just knows like the whole sentence after the first 3 words. I'm just asking myself, how is it doing this?
It's fucking terrifying.
This is I mean, I saw the movie Eagle Eye, so I know all about this already.
Oh yeah,
Is it about
Well,
this?
no,
What is
Eagle Eye
about?
It's with
is-
Shia LaBeouf, actually.
Yeah, Eagle Eye is
Nice.
like what we thought it would be 15 years ago, right? With like all cameras and stuff
really?
like that. And now it's to the next level of Eagle Eye. It's actually, I think it's even more, Eagle Eye is less terrifying than what it is right now.
Have you guys?
Really?
I mean, Colton just said the thing of his phone completing it for you. Have you ever typed in a sentence? And we all have iPhones. So have you ever typed in like a word and then just hit the middle auto thing and see what happens to the phone?
No.
You know what I'm trying to say?
So a thing?
So for example, go to your phone, go to your text thing, go to like the text chat with us.
Audience, follow
Type
along.
in HI, and then just start tapping the middle suggestion,
Oh, and it makes a sentence for you?
and it makes a sentence.
Okay.
And mine's going on a whole tangent about this whole family that I have no idea about.
Yeah.
But now, then eventually, at a certain point, it starts getting like looped in itself.
Okay, yeah.
So I'm just gonna post a bunch, and then you guys can see what my phone generated. I typed in
What?
HI, and it says his wife and 2 sons are in custody, and the 2 men have a son-in-law and 2 daughters in the family, and a daughter is the police chief, and the other is this sounds like a dream that I
This sounds like dream
a dream
language.
of mine.
Yeah.
Wait, do you type
And the
your
2
dream
children
journals
have a
in your
daughter in the
iPhone?
same house as their parents are living there for a year or so before their divorce, and then the other
This one
is
makes
crazy
canonical
story.
sense. The
What's
other
the
one,
heck?
It's wild.
and the 2
You
kids
guys
will
have
go
never
back
done this
home.
before?
So I have done it. Now, I am of the opinion that Apple doesn't have enough data on me yet because I just tried to do it, and mine is Hill Park West, West Park, North Park, Park West, Park East, Bay Park, North Bay Park West. I think they need more data on me first before they can start making sentences. It
But
used
you
to
say
be really
that,
good.
But then what the heck is mine about?
I don't
Mine's
got-
about a police chief
I
and his
don't know.
divorced wife and 2 daughters.
That's terrifying.
I've never once talked
Can we,
about
can we
this.
have
sense,
auto-generated stories? There's got to be a Reddit of that, like
There
auto-generated.
is.
Oh,
There's
there-
actually a
oh,
thing that
that-
will auto-generate scripts and stories and things.
No,
That's
from
great.
this though. Like it's just auto-generated. Like you just go through for like 3
Oh.
pages worth, and then go, all right, this is my story, and it's just from your
This is my story.
This is my
autocorrect.
story.
I bet you could.
Yeah.
Oh man,
I have hit me up if I get a bit more like it. Lol, I love it. Lol, I think I got it a lot, but it ain't no big lol. But yeah,
Is that how you text people?
that actually sounds kind of right.
It's
just
like, I
lol,
love
yeah.
the use of LOL. Like in both
Lol,
of yours,
yeah.
it both had LOL in it.
Mine is
Yeah.
grammatically correct. It's just this wild story.
Yeah,
It
it just
is-
saying yeah all the time just makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, yeah. But I don't know, because a Google phone I used to be able to make pretty good sentences. So I don't know. Apple, in a year, I'll come back and I'll try it. We'll see what kind of story I get.
Oh, actually, I just remembered I need to disable Siri because I had to enable it during our trip.
Oh, for my CarPlay on the car.
Yeah, and then I have to disable it because I don't want that on my phone.
Yeah. We need
You don't
to do
like Siri?
Oh no, I never use Siri.
I
don't
love
really
Google
either,
Assistant.
except for on when I have CarPlay active.
No, I never talk to my phone. I have thought recently though I want to try the dictation thing more so,
dictation.
but
thing.
it just always end up being slower, like talking to your phone to make the sentence.
Oh yeah. It'd be better
It's
than
supposed to be a
some.
lot better with the new iOS version,
Mhm.
and you're supposed to be able to do it all offline. Although I
Oh,
don't
yeah.
think that's the case.
Okay. I
So
I feel like it would be very useful. I use it all the time in the car actually with my CarPlay.
Ditto.
It is actually very useful in the car. But
And like
I'm usually in
reading
public.
message, it'd be like, oh,
Yeah.
just audio play and then respond.
you guys both have CarPlay?
Yeah.
I wish I kind of had CarPlay, but that's
get a-
not possible in my Jeep.
you can swap out your audio system for a CarPlay unit. It'd just be a lot of money.
I could. Well, it's only the 1 unit thick, so would have to get one
Oh.
that has a screen that comes up and then pops up.
Mm.
And I don't want to do that because that's just A, too much money, and B, probably gonna break. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
if I have
actually,
just my
that's very
Bluetooth
true.
music.
Shit, my CarPlay breaks all the time.
And I tend to not use directions too much.
Just got it all in your brain.
I try.
I use it all the time. I use it just for traffic. It's actually a lifesaver for traffic.
Yeah. Well, I usually check and then
Check
just
and then
drive
go.
after that.
Yeah. You know, we really gotta do something with AI Dungeon for a podcast or a stream or something. Going back to the whole, they're listening to us.
What's AI Dungeon?
Have you never heard of AI Dungeon?
Oh,
my-
is that the one where you type in what you want to do?
Yeah, it's like you.
It's a rogue dungeon.
You give it
generator
it gets
thing?
it like a prompt, and it builds the story. And there's it's a story, and then it gives you options. It's like, what do you do? And then you can type in anything. And I remember
Yeah.
I just played around with it for 5 minutes. Now I was saying I was this princess, and the prompt was saying to me, "You are in a castle."
Well, what were you in the game?
A princess. I'm a princess. I was a princess in the game, and the
What class
prompt
were you?
was you have to. Well, class. I don't know. I was a princess. I was a princess.
Princess
with,
class.
I ended up being a very horny princess because the prompt was, "How do you get out of the dungeon?" And I just said it. She just punched the wall out. And it's like she punches the wall out, and it made decent sense. Eventually, she gets to like home and she meets up with her brother. And the prompt's like, "What do you do?" And I'm like, "I fuck the brother."
Oh my god.
It tries to make it, and it just keeps going with it.
Okay,
It's like the
domestic
most-
girlfriend has hit you too much.
It's so weird. I
Colton.
didn't know you could get out of the dungeon. You could just leave.
You just leave. You just say whatever you want, and it makes it work. And it does a pretty
That'd be
good
kind
job.
of fun to play on stream occasionally.
That'd be
That would
good
be-
if I think we can all assign each other characters, and it'll prompt one of us to do something in a certain time.
That's pretty cool.
That's
What-
pretty cool.
Does it do
Yeah.
like RNG, like with like dice kind of thing? Like you play it like D&D, or is
I
it
don't
I think
more-
it does that.
The story I don't think so. It's just prompts with the story. You meet this person. What do? You can do anything. You type anything to them. You could kill yourself, and then you'll probably just be out of the story. But then someone else can say, "I gave him a revive potion, and then he came back as a ghost." So
That's
you
pretty
can
cool.
really do whatever you want. We should try it. maybe
Here's
for
something
one
we
stream.
could. I was thinking of doing is now you combine that with AI art. So I don't know if you've seen
Oh, man.
Corridor Digital's latest video, but they get like a AI art SDK and put in custom images into it, right? So it's of like individual people, and then put that into a story. And imagine combining the two, where you go, okay, AI dungeon and AI art. So you create like this art piece, and so you create almost a slideshow, or I guess you'd
like
say a
the
PowerPoint,
scene.
Yeah.
but more so just like a scene right next to it. And then if you're doing like a stream, you just push that to the stream, right?
Yeah.
But how cool would that be? Is like in these moments you can create like AI art combined with that.
Could be extremely cursed. I can imagine that just getting
Oh,
way out of
absolutely.
hand. Way out of hand.
I can't wait to make AR of like the princess who punches the wall and fucks her brother.
We could make
It's
that
just,
right now.
it's like I'm just imagining like this JoJo, like a princess who's just like massively ripped.
Yeah, it's wild.
The world is a wild place.
It
The
is.
wild, wild west. We have gone in a cycle. First, it was nothing. Then it was the Wild West. Now it is everything. And then we're going back to the Wild West now of the crazy internet times.
The Wild
Would you
West
say
on
so?
the
Makes
internet.
sense.
Oh, just more things are popping up and weird stuff's popping up.
Well, I would just say how unscripted everything is.
Unregulated.
Unregulated.
Yeah.
I mean, we do have tons of regulations, but for the most part, it's incredibly free still right now.
Yeah, kinda
It's
get-
not quite 2001 internet, but it's also, at the same time, so many more tools that exist now to create.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's so much information and money, honestly, money we've made on the internet that it's massively expanded. Like, think of how, I bet there's a graph you can see of how the internet has just expanded, like the amount of, I guess the best metric would be like terabytes of data transferred
Yeah.
per second. And I bet there's just this graph of it, just like kind of like a very, very like small line to just boom now.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
nuts.
you wouldn't be able to see the first line. It'd just be
Yeah, I
flat.
think there was I think it's like someone like, is it 30x? I'm trying to think of how many is it like exabytes or petabytes of data. It's like 10.
exabytes is way more than petabytes.
Okay, so it's like it's got to be like, I think it's like 30 or 50 exabytes of data is the
I think
total amount
it's-
of data stored across all like of humanity's infrastructure.
I think it's
Yo.
gigabytes, terabytes, petabytes.
Hexabytes, petabytes, octobytes. Is that how it would go? No, that wouldn't be the right. That's not right.
Zeta, there's zeta, exa, and yottabytes. I don't know what order they're in though.
I think it's zettabytes after exa.
I think yottabytes is the biggest.
Yottabytes
one.
Yeah.
just sounds
that
the
we
most
that's
primal,
septillion.
the most
remember.
Yottabytes are just yoked.
It's Yoda.
Yottabytes.
yoked-bytes. It's the most yoked out of all of
What's
them.
after terabyte? What comes after terabyte in the Britannia?
Britannia.
Britannia.
British shit.
Why can't I say
British
this word?
units.
Britannica.
Britannica. I said that first. No.
It's
said
a Britannia.
Okay.
Lelouch.
Okay, therefore, after terabyte comes petabyte, exabyte, zettabyte, then yottabyte.
Okay.
Very good.
Yeah, that would be insane. Because a yottabyte is like a billion terabytes, I think. A billion terabytes.
A billion bytes.
Because a petabyte's 1,000 terabytes, an exabyte's 1,000 petabytes, zettabyte, 1,000 exabytes, and yottabyte would be 1,000 zettabytes.
That's just insane.
So it's got to be something crazy like a billion terabytes.
Yeah, that's just wild. Wild. One day we'll get there.
When you get too high up into the numbers, nothing makes sense.
Yeah, it's like just
yeah, and then you get to
I don't know
infinity,
how to-
and then do you remember in like in school learning about like infinity? And then you have infinity plus one.
You're like, what?
You're like, wait a minute.
Have you seen who's that? Hey, Michael here. Who's
Oh,
this?
Vsauce.
Vsauce. Vsauce did a video on the probability in a deck of 52 cards
Yes.
Yeah, and how it's
and
just
how
stupid
it's
high.
just mind-bogglingly large.
Yep.
And they did visualizations of how long it would take to like count to a number to this amount of time or to visualize this amount of time. And one of the what they said is you take a drop of water and then you put that into the Grand Canyon and then you deal a card and you have to keep dealing cards until until you get like a royal flush, right? Very
Yeah.
hard to do.
Yeah.
Then you put another drop of water in the Grand Canyon. And then they say you do that over and over again until you fill up the Grand Canyon. Okay. Then you empty it and you start over again. And you do that about 1,000 more times. And then you're a quarter of the way to counting
it's
the probability of like a deck of cards.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
I remember there's another analogy with like grains of sand too, and it's like
Yeah.
you're building planets of sand based on
There's-
this like
There's
amount
more
of
yeah.
amount
There's
of
more options in a
numbers.
deck of cards than there are atoms in the universe or known universe.
Which is nuts.
Yeah.
Right?
Just-
Like that doesn't make sense.
Numbers are crazy. Numbers are wild. Math. This is why you should take your math classes, childs.
Yep. I like how, when we were young, I was recently rewatching a moment from Breaking Bad. It just popped into my recommended for whatever reason. It was the moments in Breaking Bad when he's talking to his the chemistry class, right? And one, it's the progression of Walter White, throughout, but all like how unenthused everyone is, and then now we're like, oh my gosh, like numbers and shit like that are like
numbers, man.
are like out there.
I feel
Like,
like
it's funny how that you've progressed from that.
the internet can make anything interesting now. I feel
Absolutely.
like the
That's
internet can just take a boring concept and you can make it so much more relatable. There's people out there able to make it really relatable to where it's to the point where if I was a teacher, you could probably just show videos the whole time and almost get a point across better. You'll just be the intermediator
if
to
you had a
explain.
teacher that got it, that understood when you get a millennial teacher,
Millennials,
you might
yeah.
actually be able to incorporate, assuming that the school would even let you do that, you might be able to incorporate a whole lot more stuff. But by that time, would the kids even care anymore, or would they just be on a different level?
No,
because
yeah.
Zoomer humor is just the weirdest stuff sometimes.
That's the thing. It's
absolutely.
like the millennials are going to be trying to teach, and the kids are going to be like, so like if this is applied to a TikTok algorithm, how can I enforce my probability of likes in this genre?
And they're going to try that, and then they'll be like, the Zoomers or like whatever the next generation is going to be like, exactly like, what the fuck are you talking about? Using TikTok? You're so uncool talking about TikTok.
I think there will just always be a disconnect, and you can never surmount that.
There will. I gotta say, as far as like disconnects, someone was saying, what's gonna die with boomers? It was a Reddit post or something, and it was one of them that I thought was quite smart was QVC. QVC will die with boomers.
QVC?
QVC, like it's the on the TV televised shopping where they have like new
Oh yeah,
things.
hopefully.
And my mom loved it, but then everyone in the comments is like, I hate QVC. That thing needs to die. But others are also saying, well, I don't
go to
know.
Amazon.
The way millennials are spending their money in the same way as like what QVC is, just buying random internet products that have no factual like basis for
but
working.
the difference
it's like kind of on
is-
the same level.
yeah.
Just a different
The difference is
media.
it's going to be like influencers. We're buying like the PewDiePie product or, his equivalent in the next 20 years or whatever, right?
I can tell you, I don't think I will.
I sure won't, but
I won't either. I don't really buy that stuff, but
before
What I think is interesting.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Oh.
I was just gonna say before we judge those boomers of buying QVC, I think we must look into our own lives and make sure we're not buying influencer pills to make us like have a bigger jawbone. I don't know. I don't know. It exists. I guarantee it.
yes.
I think it's crazy because I realize this of where I am age wise and experience wise, that I am too old now to ever relate to a kid, right? But yet too young to relate to the next. Well, I can sort of relate to the to the previous generation,
like Gen Xers or millennials.
like boomers and stuff like that. Because I'm technically a millennial or a Gen Y, I think.
we're
You
Gen
are
X.
definitely
Or Gen Z, sorry.
You're Gen
Okay.
Z, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, 1996.
You are a
and
Zoomer.
Our Zoomers.
But even then, I don't get most Zoomer humor, which is kind of weird.
Yeah, we're close to the millennial like age, so
Yeah.
I'm the most Zoomer.
But I just feel like such middle of the road, you know? And I understand that it's in that transitionary phase.
Well, we are
So
kind of
it's
in
a
between,
very
right?
unique. What do you mean?
We're in that because like we're like what 24.
We are definitely in between.
Yeah, 25,
the primary
26.
generations,
We're
I
in
would
between
say.
those. Yeah, so it's like no true identity with either, right?
Yeah, because I am a millennial. I am technically a millennial, and
That's right.
Carly,
Are you,
Carly
you're
is
96, right?
I'm 96, and that's millennials.
Yep.
Millennials.
Millennials.
But I don't say I incredibly identify with millennials, nor was Gen Z.
Yeah.
You're your own person.
Yet I do understand both in
Yeah.
a way.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of weird.
Yeah,
But even besides that of like generationally, like I feel how in between young and old I am. You know?
Yeah, and we're not even old yet.
Yo,
We're
but that's the
quarter of
thing.
a century old.
Because to me, the cutoff would be, or like, how far down in age do you have to go to not be able to relate much to people? And I think that is right around 18, 19.
Yeah.
Like even 18, I would say 19-year-old. I'd be like, I could say we could probably have a similar conversation. But any younger than that, and I cannot just, it doesn't, I don't think I could comprehend what they're saying.
Shit, I
Yeah,
can barely have a
it's-
conversation with a college student. It's like a totally different next level. Like
Yeah,
once you can start
sometimes.
working, it's so different.
yeah. I just haven't really interfaced with younger, like someone in high school in a long time. I don't have any younger cousins that are in high school or anything, so I don't even know. I just see, you see TikToks. You have all the influencers now that pop up in your social media are all like high schoolers,
Yeah.
but it's kind of different than just the average high schooler.
Yeah, I just talk about anime with them. Like I'm the oldest
Like
of
we all
my
like anime.
greater family, right? So
Yeah.
I am the progenitor, and so I'll just talk about anime with them because like most of them watch anime.
They
because
watch
they're-
anime. What a
Yeah.
That's the good
That's
thing
so
about that
different.
generation. Anime lovers.
Yep. And so they're like, oh,
Yeah, but they're
you
probably
like this
just-
and stuff. Yeah,
Just basic, they just only watch
they watch Naruto and One Piece.
Naruto and Attack on Titan, and they're like, "Oh, I'm so into it." And you're like,
You're like,
it's
fuck.
like,
I'm
"Fuck,
getting to
have
that
you
point
watched Ava?"
of the old jaded guy
Yes.
of like, you don't know the classics, man.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, have you
Yeah,
watched
there'll be a-
Berserk and have your soul crushed?
Yeah, there's gonna
Or
be a
more
point
so
where
Reddit.
people just like are like, Dragon Ball Z is so old. I can't even watch that. It's so old. Or like even like
I can barely watch it anymore.
even like One Punch Man or something. They're like, oh man, gosh, that's like
Oh,
that's old. That's old. I mean, it's
I think
now,
that is one of the weirdest things that's going to happen. Is
yeah, I'm not looking forward to it.
we'll reach the point where the stuff that we thought was very cool and revolutionary will just be so far in the past
Yeah,
that it is not at all revolutionary anymore.
yeah. Hey, I'm still
even though I think there's, if you look back, I'm going to use I'll use two examples. One's anime, which is if there's several decades of progress where art style has changed drastically, and who's to say what the next couple decades are going to look like?
yeah,
And the same
For
thing
sure.
happens with movies, where there are multiple decades where CG was just becoming a thing and transitioning, or it wasn't even a thing, and now it is completely prominent in
Right.
every single movie, or at least elements of visual effects, digital visual effects. So it's all gonna be just a shift. I'm interested though. I am interested to see what happens, but I hope there are people that can appreciate what I now know will be classics in the future.
yeah,
Yeah.
There will be.
It's like classic movies, man. It's like watching Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Like we are
Yeah.
two decades removed. Well, a decade removed from that, and
Yeah,
still, it's cool.
yeah, you can
or the
still
original
appreciate
Star
it.
Wars or Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. But at the same time, I'll be plugging into the metaverse. I'll be appreciating the future technology.
Yeah.
As
I did not want to be a part of the metaverse.
No.
Well,
In Facebook's vision.
Yeah.
in Facebook's vision, yeah.
Something else maybe.
I find it funny
I-
though that you're so. We've talked about this before. I won't belabor it, but I find it funny that you're so anti-metaverse yet. Like I want to upload my consciousness. 'Cause I feel like
Yeah.
metaverse is like one
Yeah,
step until
yeah.
that.
Well, the problem is the metaverse sucks. Other than that,
The problem is we need like Steam to make
It
the
needs to get
metaverse,
good.
and then it'll be
the
cool.
Valve, the metaverse.
Valve,
There you go.
Not Facebook.
yeah, it has to be done right, but then I'm all for it. you know?
Yeah, absolutely, for sure. Guys, I actually had a topic I was gonna talk about.
What was that?
We kind of went off the rails here, but I'm
Absolutely. I mean, that's
Yeah.
normal. That's just par for the course.
Okay, so I've always been curious. We got into a little bit of discussions, sports, right?
Sports.
Everyone loves them. We
Okay.
all have a sport we love. I've never talked to you guys about sports, like legitimately before. Have we ever had a conversation about sports in
Probably not.
like
What do you mean though? What are sports?
I just what are sports?
Sports.
Like,
What
we all
are
have-
sports? I'm just
we
imagining
all-
internet historians saying this right now.
Yeah, this
what
is
are
incognito
sports?
to-
Yes,
play
yeah.
the Vsauce theme song, right? No, just like we've never talked about just sports or just stuff we like or sports related that we like. I mean, Sean, you do climbing. I'd consider that a sport. I love playing like volleyball. I played baseball in high school. Mike, I don't know if I've really talked to you about sports or you.
I
You
played
said you liked
soccer when I was
watching-
younger.
Yeah, I just wanted to. The city I live in loves sports. A lot of cities, everyone's into their sports teams, and I just wanted to get your guys' takes on sports culture. Like, what sports do you love playing now, or what sports did you play as a kid that you hated? I just want to know what you guys like or
you
dislike
hated.
about sports.
I, as a kid, was on a swim team. I was on a soccer team. And I was on a golf team. Those are all like the competition sports I did.
So you
I hated swimming. I hated soccer. I liked golf.
you like golf? Yeah,
That was fun. And then I was a kid that just hated exercise. I hated PE. I
oh
hated.
yeah.
I'd rather play video games.
Yeah.
I'm in the same.
It wasn't a
group
problem
there.
because I had such a high metabolism that I was just super skinny without doing anything.
Right.
But I found climbing at the right time where I got into it, and now that's my sport that I play to be fit as well.
yeah.
And then I guess I don't think backpacking is a sport, but it's like a physical activity.
It is like a physical activity. Yeah. Yeah.
But that's kind of what I did. But I don't like sports teams at all.
Like you're against
I don't like-
sports.
which I find funny because you're a very competitive person. You're the most competitive out of all of us, I'd say.
Yeah, but it's not me competing. Like, what's the point?
Yeah. Wait.
Like I don't get sporting
I
events.
wanna come back to this because this is kind of where I wanted to go with it of like sports culture
Yeah.
in general. But I want to give Mike a chance in case you like. I just want to know your background. Like, did you play sports as a kid?
Not
anything,
really. I mean,
really?
I played a bit of soccer and I enjoyed it, but it was like I ended up just doing it when I was younger, and then
And then like kind of just like
giving it
fell
up.
off. Like you didn't
and
really
school became
care
a
for it, right?
priority, and I don't know.
Yeah. Because you were really into like the school and like the grades and your.
I wouldn't say I was really
right?
into it, but I was definitely I was really
You're
like,
going hard.
go hard on that.
Really, I didn't know you were a studious kid.
Came
Well,
in
I
with like a
wasn't really
ton
studious.
of AP credits in college.
I did have a ton of
Came with
AP
a
credits.
crap
I had
ton
an
of
entire
AP
semester
credits.
plus of AP credits coming in.
Yeah.
but which is awesome.
Yeah.
Any
no kidding.
any people in like
AP
high
credits you
school
can
right
get.
now listen to us, definitely do that because AP credits are just like it's just free money essentially.
Yeah.
It's free
It
real
is
estate.
real
It is.
free real estate. AP,
But no,
AP
I like
yeah.
I like outdoor sports. If I'm gonna say like sports, biking, hiking's technically not one, but like honestly, like non-competitive ones. I like ones where I'm competing against
yeah.
myself more so.
personal
Yeah.
Or
growth,
like
personal
I do that
I
growth.
can grow at my own rate. Like I don't.
Yeah.
Because I'd say I'm also the least competitive of the three of us. I can be, but
of the three of us, probably, but I would say you're still competitive.
yeah, I'd say so. I mean, I like our, yeah, I can switch it on and off, But for me, it's mostly I want to like do that. For me, but cycling and then also like water sports and stuff. Just I want to have fun, right? I like freedom. I like freedom, man. I'm American.
And you were a pretty big skier. You did winter sports. Yeah.
So skiing,
so that's another big
like
one.
water sports. So like sailing and stuff like that. All that bougie shit. Sailing and skiing and
Bougie shit.
I really like that. Yeah.
All that lake stuff. you know?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, when you're in Michigan, it's great. So, yeah, that's my favorite kind of thing. Is like anything general. Also, I probably should have done this back in school, but I really enjoyed water polo when we had the option to. The only problem is the pool was freaking always freezing. Like if you had like a pool that was 10 degrees warmer, I would 100% play water polo all the time.
I had a
because
friend
it's so much
who played
fun.
water polo
Yeah.
like competitively in high school, and it just sounds like torture.
It did.
The water side of things.
Absolute torture.
Also, like you beat each other up because like you
Yeah.
like
well, there's
hit-
that, and the training. It's ridiculous. That's way more than a high schooler should ever do. I think.
Yeah, it's like they I don't even remember the details, but my math teacher in high school was a club polo person in college. And it was like, why are you doing this to yourself? You're like getting 4 hours of sleep a night, and it's like they're not even they're just treading water for an hour. It's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
It sounded brutal.
I guess it is the thing where you wouldn't need a diet, though. It's one of the sports you can play where you can eat anything
just
you want.
eat like 4,000 calories a day.
Because you're burning through 4,000 calories
Yeah.
for a match. Yeah. I never do it like competitively, but just like during like we had pool at my school, and so for PE classes you do that. I was like, oh my gosh, this is ridiculously fun, but it's so much work, and you're just like at the end of it you're just like I'm dead, and like half the time I just like throw up because I'm just literally out of.
See why?
I'm completely out of
Why
energy.
is that? I would
that
do that
fun?
and be like, well, I'm never doing this again.
I don't.
It's not
I wouldn't say
something I
it
wanna
was
do.
fun, but like it. I would say it outweighed the fun of it. Outweighed the shit at the end of it. But
yeah.
yeah, I remember a couple times just want to be like super nauseous, throwing up at the end of it.
Yeah, I could see that being so fun that you'd want to keep
but also
doing it.
remember, this is PE class, so I'm not actually like training for it. So I'm still I have
Right.
like 30 minutes maximum of energy for that, and you're like, okay,
Right.
I'm done.
Yeah. I feel like that's something where you would see the personal growth. Like in swimming, even, you would see your body get so progressively better so fast because you are getting pushed. That is something that is nice about the competitive sports is you are pushed really hard and your body develops really fast to be a lot stronger. But in my mind, I agree. The only reason I would do that is for like the personal side of things to personally get really strong and stuff like that. Yeah. So
I just do it because it's fun.
Yeah.
It's hard to describe. I'm like, oh, this is a lot of fun. I'm doing it.
yeah.
But no, if I had to pick a sport, I'd say cycling. I like cycling a lot.
Really?
One, because it's great on your knees. I hate running. I absolutely do. It's terrible, but like I'd rather just bike everywhere. It's so much fun.
It's still cardio, so it's probably good. It's good
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah.
What about you, Colton?
So I've talked about this a little bit before. I played a lot of travel baseball when I was a kid. I really did like it.
Really?
It was fun. I think I got burnt out a little bit towards the end of my high school career. I
feel
played
like that happens
travel
with all
ball.
sports, though.
I don't know. There some things you don't get burnt out of though, and because I had two big hobbies when I was in high school, I had baseball and I had like drumline, like drumming. And I could drum. I drummed way more. I put way more time into drumming, and I did way more with it. And I never ever got burnt out because it was so fun. Like that was definitely as far as a sport. If I don't really vibe a ton with playing sports. I don't get a ton of enjoyment out of them. But drumming is where I would understand someone being super obsessed with a sport because it's that fun and that they're just that into it that you just want it to be like every part of your life. So,
did you ever do like competitive drumline?
I got on a competitive drumline team, but I didn't take the offer because I wanted to play baseball my senior year, which is a decision that I would probably go back and change. I'm not like hugely regretful of it.
Yeah.
But the drumline thing was like real. Like it was like pro. It was like minor league drumline. If you basically, I mean, literally, in drumline, the weird thing is you age out. it's only a college thing, basically, high school college thing. You age out of being able to be in the competitive scene by 21 years old. So after that,
Why is that? Just slower?
what's that?
Why is that? Just because you're slower? Or what?
I have no idea why that is. I asked my drum instructor once, and I think it's just how it is. It's just something where, because you don't get paid to do it. When you're in the pro scene, when you're winning the world championship in these drum corps, you're paying to be there. So no, it's gonna fall off if you're an adult. And when you're in drum corps, you're there. You're it's your whole summer. You have to do that the whole summer, May to August or whatever, and your finals are in August. So
That's dumb.
yeah, that's probably the reason why it's so young. It's because it's, college, and you're done after college, and you can't do it as an adult. You can only be an instructor when you're an adult. But it was real. It was WGI, which is like an indoor drum line and percussion thing where you do a bunch of cool drum stuff. And I got in it. And then I wanted to play my senior year of baseball. Probably shouldn't have. And that's how it is. It's fine. I really enjoy drumming still. I haven't really picked it back up, but I loved it. I whenever someone asks me my sports, I still put drumline in there just because it filled up so much of my time, and it was kind of tough carrying a drum. And then honestly, now I just really enjoy volleyball. Volleyball's amazing.
Beach volleyball?
Beach or even indoor. Beach is way better. Do you guys like volleyball? What's your takes on volleyball?
If a group of friends was like, "Hey, do you want to play?" and I thought, if I wasn't busy with something else, I would say yes.
Yeah.
It's like I don't know. It is fun, but to me, the appeal of that is just kind of hanging out with friends as opposed to actually trying to win the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like when people go too try hard with volleyball, like it's fun, like, oh, I can set up a spike and it's like really good. But like when everyone's like super, like when you run into hyper competitive and like super try hard, you're like, just like any game, right? Whenever you run into like super try hard people, when your goal is just to hang out with friends, it just becomes work. And
I agree.
Yeah.
It's
like,
I mean,
that's why I love teams. Like I used to play a lot of like beach sand volleyball with family, and and I have a lot of my family is very competitive, and we'll do that. But we're all in it just to have fun and be competitive.
Yeah,
and,
you want to play
but
good.
we're not like going.
It's
like,
more about bragging rights. It's not about
and not toxic.
your life's on the line.
Yeah, like
you know?
like your personal pride or whatever.
Yeah, you're not. It's,
and
bragging
also
rights, not
we're
pride,
not like
in a way.
not we're playing at like a an amateur average level, right? We're not like we'll get some setups like a spike or two, but then it's not really like super try hard and not like super. Also, it's not super like organized. Like when you get really high echelon, right? You need to have like really strong team organization,
right?
In any sport, right? In any team sport, and it's like when you're just hanging out with friends, you don't.
Yeah, it's like if you drop the ball every once in a while, whatever. I agree. It's for any sport. People play like pickup softball and they take that shit way too seriously. It just doesn't make it very fun. I think that's why there are different leagues. You join the competitive league. You want to like try to be super competitive, but in the most instances, that's too much. But I want to get to that point. I'd honestly love to get to a competitive point in volleyball. There's just something about setting each other up and hitting a ball hard and then like being able to dive and I don't know.
It's a good teamwork sport. It's a good you don't have to move far, but you have to move a lot.
Right.
Which is good.
And it's always engaging. It's like the tennis, it's a net sport like tennis or ping pong, but instead of 1 or 2 people on one side, you got 6 or 4 to 6 or whatever. Yeah. And that's just
I like
really
serving
fun.
volleyball.
Yeah, same.
Serving a volleyball?
I like serving.
Volleyball can make you feel powerful. I can't spike it very well, but when you can get up there and get that big spike, that anime haiku, boom.
Yeah.
I mean, you feel pretty good.
I can get the height to spike it. I just can't get the timing.
Right. So then you'd be pretty good. All you'd have to do is spend like 2 sessions out and you'd probably get it. It'd be fine.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But
a lot of the sports I like to do are very solo.
Yeah.
In a way.
Yeah.
Or can be.
Personal. It's
and also can
game.
be quite social.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I feel like the one that makes you feel the most powerful though is baseball, Dude, when you like just hit
Yeah.
a ball just right, there's nothing better. It's like, I guess you say that with golf, right, Sean? Is you
Yeah,
really
golf
enjoy
is
it.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me,
Yeah.
golf, like, yes, a bit, but baseball, I never really played it growing up, but I'll play it with family, and just obviously it's not actual baseball, but just like usually
Yeah.
throwing it, and some very casual, right? But boy, when you hit a ball, especially, it's gonna sound really funny, but you ever use one of those like giant orange like wiffle bats?
Uh-huh.
Like
think
the
so.
vortex ones that are just made of plastic, not like an actual. I mean, when you hit it with an actual wooden baseball bat, it
Yeah.
feels great. But like the vortex ones, they're just ridiculous. And using real baseballs or softballs and just hit with one of those things is
Yeah.
so much fun.
I mean, even speaking of golfing, I went out recently with some coworkers and played 18 holes,
Mm-hmm.
and I was just shooting terribly. It's one of those sports where it's pretty easy if you let yourself to get frustrated and angry
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
because of how mental a game it is.
For sure.
So, I mean, and I don't usually get like that. I'm like, bummer. But it is annoying because it's one of those things where you line up the ball, I take my practice 1 or 2 swings, feel great, love it. That was a great swing. Step up, take 1 step forward, hit the ball, slice it totally the wrong way. Like, what is
Completely
going
off.
on here?
Yeah.
It's so weird. And the last time I played, I did great. It's definitely one of those games where it is really mental.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
And
golf.
I don't know. I was trying to figure out what was my hang up that whole time, but I just never really got it.
Yeah, those personal sports are definitely like golf is probably the biggest one because so much relies on each shot. I was also thinking tennis can be an easy one to get in your head, but there's a lot of gameplay and a lot of just constant, like, you don't hit a bad shot and that's not like the whole hole. Golf is kind of to that extreme where, man, that frustration could really kick in. And I'm not good
Golf
enough to
is
let
like
it get
you
kick
have
in yet.
5 on a long hole. You have 5 hits.
Yeah.
Is your goal.
Yeah.
It's very easy to go much more than that,
Yeah, it's so easy to get.
And when your
Completely
goal is
messed up.
5, you think, oh man, like I'm doing terrible.
Yeah.
Or on a par 3, if you miss the green,
Well,
you're already
bogeyed. Yeah.
more. Or if you 3-putt, it's like,
It's like, come on.
it's very easy to get frustrated in golf, and that's what you see people throwing their clubs, which is just ridiculous. I mean, that's I hate when people take sports, really anything, but sports
Anything.
too seriously.
Yeah. So you're going back to that like sports culture. Are you pretty like you're just not a fan? The football, the basketball scene, like the big fandom behind all the big sports stuff. Not really a huge fan.
I just don't. I'm not a fan of how people get too riled up. It's fun to get riled up and it's fun to be excited, but there's a limit, and then there's like a de-evolution that'll happen.
Yeah, then there's couch burning.
It's just it's so stupid.
Yeah. I mean,
And I think I don't know what causes that. Maybe it's just people being people.
yeah.
And that's just how it is. But I don't like that.
Yeah. It's like I feel like
That's why I really don't participate for any of those things.
it's been happening since the Roman times and like the Colosseum.
Yeah.
I feel like it's like there's like this mob mentality of taking it too far. Like people want to get riled up about something, and I feel like maybe sports is just a really good outlet for that or something. I don't know.
I feel that too.
I think at their base level, people like conflict. You know?
Yeah, at like a very
And-
fundamental level.
But in a controlled level, right? Like watching, right? A lot of people I know who love sports are very conflict adverse in their own lives, but then like they'll get into sports and it's like, oh
Yeah, but then,
like the outlet for that
even if they
conflict.
want a controlled environment, there will be people that take it too far, and then mob mentality kicks in. And
Yeah.
then people who are conflict averse are still in it,
no,
And
yeah, like
and that's just weird.
Like watching have like not having the conflict be on their own, in their own environment, right?
I do.
yeah,
I find it.
I just don't get it.
Yeah, I
Personally.
there's that, and then there's also I know a fair amount of people who will legitimately have a bad rest of the day if their sports team does poorly. And
absolutely.
I'm not trying to
Which
diss
is
on like the
also
sports
ridiculous.
community. And you love your team. You went to college. You love your college teams. I totally understand. You want them to win. You really like your community, whatever. It means a lot to you, but you like completely just throwing the rest of your day away, being an asshole to other people because your team lost. I cannot understand it. And I honestly low key kind of judge anyone who has that mentality. I
would high key
cannot-
judge anybody.
Who cares
Yeah.
that much about something it's like you care so much about
Something
something
you
that's
have no influence
control over, no control over, and it's completely ruining your day. That is a pet peeve of mine. I cannot stand that stuff.
Like if you're participating in the game, it's close and you lose. I understand being upset,
Yeah.
but to be watching it and it happens and you go, my day's ruined.
There's
Yep.
an overwhelming amount of people, a weird amount of people that get like that. I always think it's a joke, and it's just not sometimes. And it's so weird how, I don't know. That's something that puts like a bit of a rotten spot on the sports community as well. Even though it's probably a very minority amount of people,
Yeah.
it's just another part of it that I don't really like.
Yeah, I feel that.
I understand getting invested in something and you know, you I can see the other side of the fence that says, "Oh, well, I spend so much of my time doing this. It's, you know, like equivalent to, you know, your dog." I don't know.
Your dog, and then
but then I just don't, you know, my perspective, I just don't think that's equates.
it just
you know?
doesn't equate. I
It
don't
doesn't
think.
make
It's completely out of your control. And
Yeah.
maybe that mentality is because I'm not super into sports very much either. Like watching sports, I don't watch a ton. I like playing them more for the most part. I've never, even though I played so much baseball as a kid, I never super enjoyed watching sports, and I never was a stats guy or anything. I could see stats kind of
Do you
getting
even watch
people into
baseball?
it. Do I watch baseball right now?
Like ever?
I never watch baseball. No, I don't. I don't mind going to games in person. That's kind of fun, but it's not for the game in a sense. It's for the social event that's happening
Yeah.
during the game. Yeah. And I know the rules like
And
pretty well, so
and
it is fun to like see what's going on and get a little hype with it as it goes on. But
and I don't even prefer to watch any sports. Like even climbing, I enjoy climbing, and if there's like the World Cup going on, I might check out for a little bit, but I'm not invested in it. You know, if I'm at a bar and there's sports on the television, the one I'd watch would probably just be golf.
yeah,
If it was on, and if it wasn't on, and even then, just passingly, I'm like, oh, well, that was a nice shot, you know.
right.
Other than that, it's just movement to me, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel that. I'm the same way. Like, the thing I enjoy about watching sports is not so much the sport itself, it's the everyone around it. Like, go to a sports bar, and like especially when it's like a home team game, like Michigan State when we go to the bar, out of state game, it's just it's this like an energy.
You do have an energy.
The
Or going to the game
energy's
fun.
itself,
The energy is fun.
It's an energy.
And I think it's good. Like, I don't think people should not like sports. You
Right.
know, that's not kind of what I'm trying to say. I think if it's something you enjoy, that's fine. But you know, there's a limit to how invested you should be in anything. You know,
Yeah.
not necessarily.
I don't know.
Sports.
I don't know. I feel it's more just about just don't be an asshole.
Well, and that's what I think. If people get too invested, they take it personally, and that's
Yeah.
kind of where I'm going with it.
Yeah. People
Don't take it personally.
Don't take it personally. I don't get how people take it personally in the first place, but
Yeah.
it is a thing. I'd be more invested in esports. If I had to pick one, I'd watch esports.
There's some funny sports.
I am practically more invested in that anyway. Just
Yeah.
in the sense of watching like YouTubers and such.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's just because I like video games and I feel like I know
Yeah.
what the games they're playing more than I do sports, like more sports in general, I guess. Or I feel esports is nice because I can go and play that game whenever I want kind of thing.
Right.
I can actually apply it to my own life.
Yeah.
Whereas with soccer, I can't just go out. I guess I could just go out and kick a soccer ball, but I'm not going to do that. So
Yeah,
I don't watch esports at all. Mm-hmm. And a lot of the games that I would like to watch played esports are not one of the ones that are competitive. So
like
It's-
what?
I don't know. It'd be. I think the only one that I really like would be Halo, and they do have esports for that, but it's not as big as some of the other ones.
yeah.
The
Like
fun-
League of Legends is not entertaining to me at all.
Really, I find so
I
that's
think
the
it's very
one
fun.
I hate playing League. Absolutely despise playing League, but watching the esports side of it is actually pretty fun. I think
Yeah.
sometimes the commentators can get a little overzealous, but
Yeah, they can,
I'm trying to
for
think of
sure.
who I used to watch on YouTube a lot of like some of his games, and it's just really fun to, especially when you have people explaining like the strategies behind it. Like I don't totally get it,
Yeah.
but it's like
Yeah.
fun. Oh, I know, and like these people are like playing 5D chess with each other at this high level, right? And it's so fun to watch them all playing this very strategic game that way.
I'd love to
right?
see more RTS esports.
Yeah, but the problem is they tend to be kind of slow, whereas League can be really like it can be kind of slow.
Yeah.
and then it's like okay, it's just going insane right now, and
And I'm sure Apex has played esports, or
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
it is.
I'm sure, yeah.
But that I'd watch some of that too. You know, if I ever saw something happening, just to kind of see what they're doing. But I would love if games incorporated. Some games have done this in the past, but I haven't seen it in a while. Where they incorporate an announcer spectator viewpoint,
yeah.
so someone could just do free cam it and
Yeah.
go around the Apex map or something like that.
Right.
yeah.
I don't know if that's possible or built in, but
Yeah. Although I
I
feel
know in
like-
some games in the past it's been.
Apex is almost too fast paced for esports. It's like because everything happens like a lot of times is like instantaneously, and there's a lot of chaos. Whereas I like the more ordered. Again, literally the League, the game I hate playing, is really fun to watch as esports. Or like Overwatch is actually pretty fun to watch esports wise.
is cool. I feel like I like the esports games, honestly, because there's so much strategy involved. I like a good strategy, whereas a lot of sports, so much, like 90% of the games, it's not strategy, really.
It's technique.
Honestly, it's not. Football is, I mean, there is strategy in football that I just can't appreciate because, plays and, you have all these different plays and stuff. Baseball has some strategy, but it's not really on that level of like league, in my opinion.
Yeah, yeah. I
guess.
feel like
Maybe
football
that's-
is the most
Yeah,
strategic.
football actually is the most strategic because you have so many trick plays, so many different style of plays, who's doing well, who's doing bad, run it or pass it kind of thing. So a lot, and that's so funny because most people don't think that it's the most strategic of a lot of the different sports, but it is because in basketball you can kind of just pwn people if you're good. You just run
Yeah.
at the net and you just dunk it. With baseball, you just hit a home run, and soccer, I feel like it's also pretty just athletic, and you just, there's not a whole lot of setup. I'm not very into soccer. I don't know soccer, so I don't know. I'm talking about out of my ass, but that's just
And we're
my
talking
initial
about
impression.
out of our ass in general in this topic because we don't.
Yeah, none of us
we're
are
basically
big sports
Hey, we don't know a
guys,
lot of
right?
this. This is outside in. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah. I used to be almost like, I don't know. I used to be almost salty at the sports community. I was almost like, it's one
Yeah.
thing I don't like America. Why
probably
is
'cause you-
everyone so obsessed with sports?
Yeah.
'Cause,
It's like
you
I'm
know-
not included. I'm salty.
Yeah,
about it.
yeah.
feel
I don't
that,
know.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not like that anymore. I guess I was just sometimes when I was younger, everyone just seemed to be into it, and it was like everyone's pastime. And I'm like, man, wish I was into it, but I can't get into it. Mm-hmm. Whatever.
that.
I know this isn't a physical sport, and I may have mentioned it before, but honestly, I was trying to think of different sports that I just found complex and entertaining. Because you're talking about the strategy and stuff that goes into it, and there has to be enough randomness in a sport to make it entertaining.
Yeah.
So it's not just a cut and dry thing.
Yep.
And it's good to have excitement and hype around that. So a lot of like some individual sports there are two shows that I really like to watch that are individual sports. One's competitive, one's individual. That's just entertaining to see how far someone go. One is Ninja Warrior, actually.
Oh,
That's just
yeah.
entertaining.
That's just
to see
people
how
being
much
cool.
someone can go.
Yep.
But as far as like a competition sport, it would be BattleBots.
Yeah, you love your battle
Because
bots,
there
don't
is
ya?
a lot of technique and strategy and randomness, and your build quality affects how you do. There's a lot of different layers to the show that it's just a competitive tournament,
Mm-hmm.
and to me that is incredibly
Yeah.
entertaining.
Competitive engineering. That's what
Yeah.
BattleBots is.
Well, Sean, do you think you'd like F1 or any of the racing stuff? Because I feel like that, if you're a car guy,
I could
if you-
see myself being into F1, but not NASCAR.
Yeah, I'm the same
yeah,
way.
because
Indy
it's kind of the
500
same thing.
is so much more interesting than NASCAR, which I don't get because like
But
my grandfather's a huge car guy, right? And he used to race on Daytona Beach, right?
Oh,
like
wow.
this is for casuals and pinks, but he used to race, and I'm like, then he watches NASCAR. I'm like, Grandpa, how do you like this? It's like just people going around in circles. Yeah, that's one thing I never got. But Indy 500, oh my
seen,
gosh, you like the different tracks, and
Yeah.
it's so much fun.
Have you seen competitive tag?
Oh, that would be so cool.
What?
Parkour
It's
plus a sprint.
so cool. Like imagine this symmetrical jungle gym, and you have two people trying to tag each other. It is insane.
Yeah,
It's super fun to watch.
that seems like it would be pretty fun.
This
I've
sounds
seen a
like
couple
just
clips.
crab game.
Crap game.
Not
Crab
quite.
game tag.
I'll send you a video on it, but I find it interesting.
Can we get IRL Fall Guys? I'd watch that.
That would be.
That was basically Wipeout.
that's basically a wipeout. Yeah.
You're right. You're right.
just
It is
just the
basically
only
Wipeout.
Wipeout's only one at a time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's just everyone. Oh my god, that'd be so dangerous, man! Stampeding, just like people who
Stampeding
die
and falling.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I was looking at. I like weird sports. I'm getting in. Moist Critical's been watching a lot of slap contests. Have you guys heard of this?
What is that?
It's like turn-based slapping, and then you just slap each other until someone is knocked out or something.
It's
It's-
pretty
That's
dope.
just dumb.
It's kind of
me.
dope,
No.
honestly.
Dude, it's so. I mean, it's not
No.
that entertaining, but you're just like watching these people wail each other, slap each other, and it's like, who's gonna pass out first? That was a great slap, man. That guy really reared up there. Very clean slap. There's a bunch of regulations and everything. It was just, it's fun. It's funny that it
Speaking-
I think for me,
exists.
I also don't like sports where the primary thing that's going to happen is an injury.
yeah, that's the main goal.
It's like, well, that doesn't sound very good for anybody involved.
Yeah,
I would say that, but honestly, boxing is pretty cool. Mostly because I like the technique involved. It's very, it's much more regimented than something like UFC, right? But like when you actually watch like really good boxers, you can see the strategy behind it. Right, and that's my favorite part is like when you okay, I'm understanding the top level strategy behind this when it comes to boxing. Whereas I feel like something like UFC, it can be it's a little bit more raw. It can be out there, but yeah, seeing that strategy.
Yeah, there is a lot of strategy in those sports, I guess, that you say that. Which again, it's like one of the more physical ones. You wouldn't expect that sometimes, but it is pretty mental regarding that.
Oh yeah,
Have you guys?
I think boxing. Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say I sent you guys a link for Bo
Yeah, I've seen that
Taoshi.
thing before.
Have you played it? I played that at gym once. when I was
Played
in high
it?
school.
No.
I played that game.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't think they would allow that in America.
Yeah, I wouldn't
Wait,
think so
what?
either. It's called Bo. I think it's Bo Taoshi. Taoshi. It's a game where you have two teams. You have a defending team and an attacking team. The defending team has one person stand like on this raised pole, and the rest of their teammates surround the pole, while the attacking team just tries to swarm the pole and get the guy at the top of the pole off the pole. And I think
Yeah.
both teams face off, and whoever takes the most time to get the person off the pole loses, essentially.
It's ridiculous. There's also 150 people competing.
That's a
round.
ridiculous.
That big? That is
75 for 75. Can you imagine?
Silly. That is silly, dude. I didn't know it was that big. Everyone listening, look at that
It
up.
just
That's a
seems
good
like
sport.
someone's going to get gravely injured.
It's like Stampede speed run. Get Stampeded speed run right there. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Also,
that,
yeah. I
was gonna say,
these
I think
niche
that's a
sports
fun
are so
one.
much fun.
yeah.
I don't know. Have you seen like strongman competitions too?
Oh man, those are
Like just the
those are pretty
ridiculous
intense.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit.
That's
I've
like
seen a little
elite
bit of
human.
those.
We're getting into just let's flex my elite humanism there.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts. Now that's like a different type of competition. It's because it's not so much a sport. It's just competing against yourself in a way, right?
Yeah.
I must take my lasagna out.
Okay, we'll wrap this up pretty soon too.
Your bitch lasagna.
What?
Bitch lasagna.
Bitch lasagna.
I
Apparently,
don't know what that is.
That's like from like 2012 PewDiePie. Come on.
is that actually a meme?
You've never
Do
heard
not
of
know.
bitch lasagna?
I've never heard of bitch lasagna.
Dude, look it up.
I'll look up bitch lasagna right now.
And this it's like it's aging me, but
It's aging you. There's a song
Yeah, I'm not-
called "Bitch Lasagna."
yes, by PewDiePie. How many views does it have at this point?
Let's see, "Bitch Lasagna" YouTube 300 million. Why?
Dude, that's the question I ask the internet every day. Why?
Wait, did PewDiePie hit 100 million subscribers before Mr. Beast?
Yes. He was,
Oh my
he
God.
was the first to hit 100 million.
I didn't know that. I thought Mr. Beast was the first one to do that. What the heck?
No.
Wow.
Hughes is
And
like 150 anyway.
He has, I think he has 111 right now. If what I'm seeing is
Oh, really?
correct.
I mean, he's
So-
definitely fallen off on growth. That's for sure.
Hey, he's like in the uncharted territory. I can't believe that man is still the most popular. I never watch his content. That's crazy to me.
Nope.
Gotta take my
me
lasagna
neither.
in 5 minutes again. Yeah, right. I don't know how it's like critical mass, you know? He's too popular to fail now, you know?
Yeah.
Unless he does,
It's-
like-
even if he does something crazy, it doesn't matter at this point.
But like, who watches him? I actually don't even know anyone who watches him.
I don't know who.
Not that
I
he's a
wanna
bad
know
He's
creator.
a
his
default
demographic.
subscribed in YouTube when you create a new account. He's a default subscribed account.
Really?
Oh, really?
That is
Yeah,
absurd.
That's
That
what
is,
he once he hit critical mass of like that was it.
man.
It's impossible for him to go down.
It is impossible for him to go down. He just
He got in at the right time and did the right things, and somehow got super lucky, made it on top.
man.
And he only
Lucky for him.
like he gets only like a couple million per vid now, like 1 to 2 million
Only.
views. Yes,
And that's I guess that's
But
like
still,
not
that's-
a ton.
that's compared to someone like like I think Trash Taste gets that, and they have they have less than 1/10 of the amount of people subscribed.
Yeah, they get like a mil per. But I mean, like Mr.
Yeah.
Beast kills PewDiePie
Oh,
in
Mr.
views
Oh yeah,
per video. That's interesting. I didn't know. I literally thought Mr. Beast was the first one. He wasn't. It was PewDiePie. Wild.
Does he even have 100 million right now?
He just got 100 million within the
Oh, okay.
past month or two, maybe the past month.
I've only seen
Weird.
like 2 videos of his.
They're pretty fun. I like Mr. Beast videos actually. That's the zoomer in me.
He just
coming
never
out.
throws
seen a
money,
video of
and
his.
I'm like, okay.
He literally
money at the
throws
problem.
money. Yep, he throws money. Does a lot of good.
Literally, yeah.
Does a lot of good like charity stuff too, though. He
I
actually
just don't
like
know how he gets that money, man. It's like,
the YouTube
Oh,
money and
YouTuber
sponsors.
money.
that's true. Yeah, he just knows how to. He just knows how to get the sponsor system.
And he's got his own burger, Mr. Beast Burger. I've had it. I had it in my old place.
He's
Oh, dude,
definitely
I got-
diversified and probably done a good job with that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I got the Gura nacho fries from Taco
What?
Bell.
That's a- what?
They sponsored Gura
It-
actually.
no, she was in the ad. They put her in the ad for it. Do you remember that?
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Well,
She was an
maybe
Easter egg,
vaguely.
right?
Yeah, she's an Easter egg in the ad.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I'll pick those up. They're not bad.
They're not
exactly what
bad.
you expected.
Sponsored by Gura. If they actually sponsor Gura chicken nuggets, I'm buying.
They
like
just had a
100 of them.
Hololive Among Us. They put a bunch of Hololive skins in Among Us.
Really?
I've never seen these ads. I don't know what we're talking about. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's because
They're
you're
just-
not
they're just
involved
that-
in the community, dude.
I don't see ads.
Yeah, it's just you don't.
because-
Not for
Speaking
long.
of, did you get rid
Not
of
for long.
Chrome?
No, I mean they're not going to implement that change until like next year. So,
Yeah.
but probably eventually.
Yeah.
Well,
Back to
Switch to
Safari
Brave.
/ Firefox.
Brave browser. That's what I use for work. I like it.
we'll see. I'll evaluate when the time comes. I don't like to forward think about these things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Too forward thinking. All right, boys. Well, I think our sports fans are pleased with our sports knowledge.
They're going to be very pleased. Like up in arms, pitchforks, pleased.
I think all in all, we were a little bit of
like
an,
sports fans.
we were definitely a little bit of an echo chamber. I expected that. Like none of
Yeah, I think so.
that's fair.
Yeah, we just need someone. I need like some of my
need-
ridiculously sports in tune family just in here.
We could have a big sports fan. I know a couple. I know a guy that's knows every football game going on every single weekend. And
Yeah.
I'm like,
Fantasy
we should have
football,
him on.
like
we should
crazy, yeah.
get his perspective. Get his perspective on it, and he can be. It'll be great.
Yeah,
But until then, sports fans, tell us why you love what's your favorite sport and why you like playing it, and do you love
yeah.
do you love
And please tell us
whatever?
like any awesome niche sports.
Thanks, Cody Cole.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
Totally trailed off.
Because we want to know about all these ridiculous niche sports.
Oh
that
yeah,
should be
if you have any
popular, even though they
wacky
aren't.
sport, let us know. I want to know about. I want to watch some crazy sport videos that I had no idea existed.
I know there's cheese rolling. That's a thing. Wife carrying is also a sport. Wife
carrying.
Yep. Look it up.
Is it a sport or like just a bar game?
I think that's
Bar
just a
game.
requirement.
I think
You know,
there's-
like there's competitive cornhole, but I don't consider that a sport. You know,
Really?
It
I don't
technically
know.
is, but absolutely
bar
it's a
game.
bar game.
I'd consider beer in hand kickball a sport, which is something I'd be down to do. Beer in hand kickball. I'm doing
it's a
it.
sport I can get behind.
Yeah. But anyways, fellas, tell us your best sports. Fellas and fellas, please tell us your best sports. Like, subscribe, comment. And yeah, one day we'll get there. One day we might get into a sport all together that we'll love.
Not golf.
Not golf. Maybe we'll get there one day. All right, guys. Thanks
Have a good
Thanks for
night.
listening. Subscribe,
Good
like.
evening.